Megan Anderson is going to pull off the upset, first round knockout. If she does not get it, I will get a tattoo of a goat on me. Giving it to you, my man. I knew it was going to come out at some point. I didn't know when, but here it is.
Title defense tonight.
Just a non-event. Non-event.
A non-event. That's the best way to put it. Was in zero danger, never in trouble.
Every time she touched Megan Anderson, Megan would go flailing around the octagon. At one point, her leg went completely straight.
Very happy, very happy, very special for me. And share this with my baby was amazing.
Body piercing and tattoo.
Hi, what is tattoo artist availability looking like today?
So the tattoo artist is booked today.
Alright, how is tomorrow?
Tomorrow is pretty booked too. She's booked until next week.
Okay. Alright, then I will check back later.
Okay.
Alright, thank you.
Yep. Have a good day.
You too. Oh well.
It's the day before we're off to Jacksonville. Gotta get the hairs redid and maybe get that tattoo now. So we're at the gas station because we need gas to get where we're going. Well, that's that. And the tattoo artist isn't available today. I tried.
Alright, it happened. I was wrong. I had to get a tattoo. I said I would do it. So I did it. Yes, a little bit later than maybe should have, but I did not put a specific time on when it would be happening. But it has happened. The goat has left her mark on me by my own doing, by my own fault. And I will tell you why. 2 reasons, kind of, for why it took me so long to get the goat tattoo after that fight happened in March, UFC 259. Megan Anderson suffering a first round defeat to Amanda Nunes, costing my skin some more space. So, before we talk a little bit, as you do on vlogs, and this isn't exactly a fun one that I'd like to make typically, let me show you the tattoo first of all. Oh, there we are, right there. Added it to the lineup of life stamps, as I call them. Hope you can hear me because the microphone's obviously right here. As you can tell, still fresh and makes, whenever you get a new one right next to others, it makes the other ones look a little bit shittier in terms of, you know, the ink itself. But as of recording right now, it is August 31st, Tuesday, and I got this on Sunday. So it took me a couple months, obviously. And I originally was thinking not to put this along the lineup that I already have on my arm because the middle ones of these actually have meaning. These middle 3 right here. So the first tattoo that I got, which you can see when I held my arm up, was it goes from left to right in order of when I got these. And the first one is actually just a bar logo here in the local town where I live that I thought looked cool at the time because they stamp it on your wrist to know who has been in and out of the bar when you go in. So that one doesn't really have any meaning at all compared to the middle 3. And yeah, so anyway, what I was getting at was I wasn't originally thinking of putting the goat in this lineup because, you know, these ones kind of mean something to me, at least the ones after the first one. But then I was like, well, the first one doesn't, so fuck it. Let's put it in the lineup anyways. They can sandwich the actual ones that I had something to them. But instead of just putting it somewhere like on my leg, which is what I was thinking to do with the goat. But then it just would have been all floating down there by itself, because I'm not sure if I'll ever get anything too big and crazy, too detailed, just because having already had these, I don't know if I just want to take that much time sitting there, taking a needle for that long. Just don't feel like it. I don't even have any cool ideas at the moment anyways. Surely, maybe at some point. But I think it would mostly stick and center around the arm. But anyway, there it is now. And the reasons for why it took so long for me to get in the first place is, one, I didn't have too much pressure. Nobody really followed up with pressuring me to actually go through with the bet, which on fight night, I definitely got some messages. But after that, it was pretty quiet. So I was like, well, I did fully intend on getting it. Ended up getting it. But, it's a lot easier to slack off and make excuses or just be busy. Because honestly, I am generally pretty busy with all the things that I'm doing. Making time for videos like this, though, which is funny because in one of the last vlogs I said I would try and do more vlogs, but then just got too busy with things. So not lying there, but at the same time, not so much pressure. So I didn't really feel the need to do it quickly, but got around to it because, as you could see in the previous little videos I recorded and put in here, it was a thing where I wasn't going to schedule this. This is not a tattoo that I wanted, so if it was convenient for the time and there was a tattoo artist available and around, then I would do it at the mall tattoo shop, which is where I've gotten all of my tattoos. So that's good fun, and how that ended up. But another reason that kind of added on to that non-speedy process and not wanting to do it as much. Again, still fully intended on doing it. I did think about just not doing it because, again, people kind of forgot about it. So no pressure again. But as this was a tattoo centered around Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson, and me making the pick for Megan, obviously that was not exactly the smartest bet to make, and more of a having faith little thing. And I'm not walking it back. I did believe that Megan could pull off, that kind of feat just with the power she had, her striking. Obviously it didn't go that way, but always believed that she would be champion one day. And it kind of ties into a little bit of the reasons, or whatever you want to call it, as to why I don't consider myself necessarily a journalist, because that word has multiple definitions and how people look at it. You're supposed to be unbiased, all that, but it's very hard to be unbiased, not have favorites, not get close with some people. And with Megan in particular, somebody that I've known, or had known, I suppose I could say, for about 5 years or so, I think, going back to like 2016, before she was even in the UFC. Talked to her a good amount until she got more popular. As you do, we all get busy, and it is what it is. Those of you who follow the sport closely, or myself on Twitter and all that stuff, will remember days after UFC 259 had ended, Megan on Tuesday, I believe it was the Tuesday after that fight, got on her Twitch stream, was all back home. She's got, good Twitch following, streams her games all the time, all that stuff. Her first stream since the loss, talking to all the fans, gets on there, reveals to the world, the community, everybody watching. She says that she's now officially a free agent, which is something that we knew going into that fight, all that stuff. So that was nothing new. But she also said that the UFC was getting rid of the featherweight division entirely. So that was news. And she said that fully confidently, that it was going away.
I won't be back in the UFC. They're cutting the division, which I knew was going to happen. I just found that out this afternoon. And we knew this was going to happen. Chris with 1,000 bits, bro. Still my goat. Thank you. Jessica Gravity with the 5 gifted. Thank you, guys. But yeah, the UFC is cutting the division. The Felicia Spencer fight in May against whatever, I forgot her name, will be the last featherweight fight in the UFC.
So, that was out. Public knowledge. Anybody could have seen it who was on the stream. I checked out the stream as a follower of Megan's, a supporter of Megan's. Still to this day, have always done my best to do her justice with stories. She's been an unnecessary victim, I believe, of a lot of unnecessary hatred. So it is what it is. And what I ended up doing was tweeting out the news, because, I mean, that was public knowledge. She put that out there. Didn't see anything wrong with that. If I didn't do it, somebody else would have, and that's not an excuse or whatever. But that's just how it is when something like that is put out there. Whether it's true or not, which it ended up being not true. I didn't say that it was a fact or anything like that, but she did. I just said that she said this. Here we are, yada yada. Of course, quickly disputed, and she herself walked it back the day after, I believe, on her next stream, whenever that was, and said that, got in a little bit of trouble for talking about this, and now I'm pretty sure she doesn't talk about her career on her streams anymore. But because of that, me resharing what she shared, she ended up blocking me on Twitter and Instagram. Have not spoken to her since. And since right after the fight, I think it was maybe the day after the fight, sent her a message, hoping she's okay, all that kind of stuff. She said thank you, yada yada, all good. Of course, probably bad timing. Of course, a little soon, very, very fresh, all that stuff. But just to have, kind of that, throwing away those last 5 years of being cool with each other, throwing away off of something like that without anything discussed between each other. Maybe it was my fault for not speaking to her first. I don't know. It's done and over with. I did send her a message afterward that never got a response. Haven't spoken to her since. Haven't heard from her since. Hope she's doing well. But yeah, that was just kind of a really big bummer to have that happen. And I just always think back to when I moved to China in 2019 for a very, very brief period. A lot of personal things were going on at that time for me. And so I stepped away from the MMA space to go and try and be an English teacher, which seemed like the easiest avenue to start a new life in a foreign country. And originally wanted to do Japan. Didn't work out. Ended up in China. Long story short. So yeah, I took a break from MMA during that time. About 3 months out before I actually made it to China. So I was off of Twitter, all that stuff. Didn't post anything like that. Was very cryptic about it. Just felt like teasing, whatever. But not a single person reached out to me during those 3 months before I came back, once I was in China and let everyone know what was going on. Nobody reached out during that time to see if I was okay or anything like that, what's going on, which is whatever. I don't really care. I really don't care. I was going to start, the intention was to start a new life. That's what was going on there. So it was whatever. But Megan was actually the one and only person who did send me a DM in those 3 months before I came back and let everyone know what was going on, asking if I was okay and all that stuff. So that was something that was kind of always special to me. So again, hard not to have a little bit of bias and maybe not frustration, but just a sad ending to I always feel weird saying a friendship with somebody you've never actually met in person. And yes, I was at the fight, but, you know, never got to catch up with her. She was busy with fight week duties and all that stuff. And as I said, we didn't talk as much in the last so many years, but for the first so many, caught up every now and then. And, you know, she cared enough at that time to, you know, to worry about me, which I thought was always a really nice gesture. So, not something I exactly want to be reminded of with the tattoo, but again, it is over, done with. It sucks. It's a bummer, but, you know, what you gonna do? I fully admit that I might have been in the wrong. Gotta be better. Never gonna be perfect. Admit your mistakes. It's a tricky avenue to be in, is media, but I don't know. It was out there. I felt like it was an okay thing. And again, maybe I could have went to her beforehand and talked about it, whether it was to put it out there or not, but it was going to go out there. So I thought it would be okay, but doesn't matter. Moral of the story is, you say you're going to do something, you fucking do it. And that's how I'm always going to remember this tattoo. That doesn't make any sense. I have to remember it. I see it every day now. But that's how I'll think about it. Along with it being, you know, a silly bet that was just for fun. You know, there was nothing, no reciprocation. So it was just me being overly confident, but believing in somebody I have believed in since before they got to the UFC in the first place. So in the end, wish her all the best going forward, and whether it's with fighting still or the gaming stuff, which does seem to be going well as well. She's always working to do all that other stuff. Here we are. So I followed through, so you can't hate me too much, you guys. No more tattoo bets for me, though. I'm running out of space, at least in that lineup. So yeah. Not a very fun vlog, but one that I was like, well, you gotta make it, gotta update the people. So, what more can I say than don't bet against the GOAT, you guys.